what my thought is on it, and this is probably a crazy, uncredible take on these wildfires, is the conspiracy theorists jumped on Lindsey Graham's passing. They jumped on Charlie Kirk's situation. They've jumped on the Iran war. But nobody, not one person that I'm aware of, at least not mainstream, has looked at the message or the reason why on this air quality thing and even questioned the narrative, And it makes me wonder, like, you could do with what, like, the conspiracy theorists do with this. And I did this with my son the other day. I was like, what if it's not wildfire smoke? What if every so often they decide they're just going to burn a whole bunch of waste, landfill waste, plastics, whatever, and they decide they're just going to burn it, and then every now and again when they do it, the wind blows a certain direction and it hits a larger community. Like you could build a whole conspiracy theory around this. And all you would have to do is go, you could do what, like, Candace Owens does. You could be like, oh, this is just wildfires that they can't put out? What do you mean they can't put out? I was out there for an hour yesterday, and it didn't smell like a campfire. In fact, there's no evidence that the smoke here in the state of New York was the same smoke that was coming from those wildfires. Why do we believe this? Like, you could create a whole conspiracy theory around it. But what's interesting to me is that this could have the potential to be something that the government is lying about, and nobody's questioning it. And the other thing I noticed was some of the verbiage that was used as a warning with this air quality thing, which in the defense of Canada, because some people are mad at Canada for all, and I guess Minnesota, there's some other areas in the country where this is being affected, different wildfires are happening. But in defense of Canada, this has only lasted like a day or day and a half, so it hasn't been constant. But the messaging from the news on how to handle this, wear your mask and stay inside. And I'm like, that's their go-to now. Their go-to is stay inside and wear your mask. And the government is just dying to get us to stay inside. Now, I will say, the one day that I was out where it was really bad, I was like, yeah, I can kind of see it. But then the day after, so the air quality on, I want to say Thursday, the AQI, Air Quality Index, was like 190s. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty high based on their rankings or whatever. And it was. Like, I was out there and I was like, whew, that's bad. So I go to work Thursday night, which was my Friday, because I work past midnight, so it ends up being Friday. My entire, the place where I work it's a manufacturing plant, was full of smoke. In fact, they said if you are having trouble breathing, go to medical, you can go home. They'll make accommodations. It wasn't horrible, but you could see the haze of smoke in the plant. When I left work that morning, there was just a haze over the parking lot. And that could have been like 50% fog, 50% smoke. I don't know. But I would say by noon, it was like a normal day. A light hint of this like smoke or residue, but I could see the sun in the sky just fine. Everything was kind of back to normal. But that morning going into about noon, the air quality index got as high as like 477, which is like max on that scale. It's like 20 points away from max. And by noon, it was back down to like 308 or something. Like, I don't know how they're judging it, like if they have some sort of way to judge it, but like where I was at, the actual feeling of like that index number versus how it actually felt outside, it did not correlate at all. And so I was telling somebody online when they saw that I walked 5 miles in the 450 air quality index, was like, how are you even breathing out there? And I'm like, it wasn't as bad today. So I don't know if there's a delay or if they're like, where they're running the test is not local to me, and so it's off a little bit. I'm not sure. But all that to say this, it's like, this is what I was thinking about. The day that I was walking and it was bad, like the smoke was bad. I was like, I grew up in this area. never once in my life did I ever see or feel or recall this being an issue, this air quality thing. And now it's an issue. And if we didn't have the news or social media or this air quality index on our phones telling us what it is, I wonder what we would think. Like, I wonder what we would think about this whole air quality thing. Like, what is this? Like, you would have to look it up on the news or the radio, I guess, back then. But like, if nobody was telling us, it would be a very concerning thing, because we would think, what is this? Like, what's happening? It's like all of a sudden your entire world is covered in smoke. It would be much more concerning than with all this media coming at us. And then it got me thinking, like, they could really smoke us out. They could say, like, oh, the air quality is super terrible and you have to stay inside for the next month, because, just like they did with COVID. And they could generate the smoke however they wanted to, For me personally, I wouldn't know the difference between if they bombed somebody like 500 miles away and that smoke was coming versus this supposed wildfire smoke. I wouldn't know the difference. Like, how would I know? Like, if the news right now was saying, Canada is testing nuclear weapons in the woods, and I wouldn't know the difference. Like, I have no way of knowing that specifically. And that's why I say, like, it's ripe for conspiracy theorists to jump on, and they just didn't do it. So I just thought that was interesting with this air quality thing. I don't know. I have no idea, like, what the effects are. I was out probably the day that I shouldn't have been out. I was out there for like an hour, and I did feel the effects of it for the next day. But now it's pretty much normal outside. So I'm not sure what to think of it. It happens about once or twice a year now, where it didn't happen when I was a kid growing up. So who knows what the reason for it is. But yeah, my two main topics, my two main news articles this week, or main news topics that I wanted to talk about, were that smoke and the ever-aging politician in the U.S. So very interesting what the conspiracy theorists jump on and what they don't jump on. But overall, my uncredible take on both of those is, one, Americans are going to have to get used to older politicians passing away, because we're electing people who are well past the average age of death in America. So we shouldn't be surprised when this happens. It's going to leave a leadership gap. And with this air quality thing from Canada, I don't know how you fix it. I really don't. But I will say my uncredible take on it is, it sucks and it's kind of annoying. It'd be nice if it wasn't the case, but it is. So I don't know of a way to clean it up. But it does concern me how easy it is for the government and the media to just say, stay in your house and put your mask on. Not a huge fan of that since COVID. So.
No quit. Building their wall. While they talk about us. All they talk about us. Educated. Experienced. Still not credible. So we embraced it. Now we're uncredible.